Right now is Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. She is a member of the Armed Services, Small Business, and Agriculture Committees. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. Can you give us an assessment so far of the reaction you're seeing from NATO to this unprovoked aggression from Russia on Ukraine?
Yes, thank you, Maria. I was able to travel and lead a delegation, a bipartisan delegation of 10 senators to Germany and Poland over the weekend. And those members that we were able to visit with are extremely concerned about what they see going on in Ukraine with that unprovoked war. And what we see coming from NATO is really solidarity and the need to push back against Vladimir Putin and Russia. So I am extremely encouraged by what we see from our NATO partners. They've really stepped up to the plate. Extreme kudos to Poland for what they are doing, not just with lethal aid, but also with the refugees that are flowing into the country.
Yes, Senator, how did it feel to you on the ground? It was great that you led that bipartisan delegation to Poland and Germany. I was able to meet with the First Lady of Poland recently, and she told me directly, Mrs. Duda, that she's expecting 5 million refugees to ultimately get to Poland. I know that we're already close to 4 million, but what was it like on the ground for you? What were you able to see in terms of the impact of all of these refugees seeking help in Poland?
Yes, we were able to visit a refugee center, and at that particular point in time, there were maybe 12 to 1,600 refugees, mostly women and children, the elderly. We were able to visit with a number of the refugees, and they want to go home. They want peace in their country, but they won't do it at a cost of giving up their country. They will fight to the last man. So we did hear that very clearly coming from the Ukrainians. We also met with members of the Ukrainian civil society, women that are very empowered and impassioned, and they just want to see the lethal aid flowing in so they can defend their own country. But there is a will to fight, there is a will to win, but we believe they can win. But the humanitarian crisis that we're facing right now is very overwhelming, and again, so much generosity coming from the people of Poland and many nations across Europe, and we hope that that does continue as we see this escalate.
What are your thoughts on these efforts to lower gasoline taxes or, do away with it in general? Your recent op-ed about energy security as national security was so important, and you write that while China focuses on winning the mining and manufacturing race, the Biden administration is working to make America more dependent on electric vehicles. Senator, we know that the climate change agenda is moving throughout agencies in this administration, and yet you're looking at Germany, for example, this morning, talking about a plan to lower gasoline prices by eliminating the tax or lowering the tax or giving a subsidy to people. What's the answer for this spiking inflation in the United States?
Well, what the administration has proposed so far is not a solution. It's a Band-Aid right now. We really do have to address the root problems of our energy crisis right now, and that's by ramping up American energy. I'm an all-of-the-above girl. So if it's renewable, that's great. If it's petroleum, that's great. We have a tremendous opportunity with biofuels, ethanol, and biodiesel all across the Midwest. We can help shore up that gap with Russian energy. Let's not import Russian oil. Let's not lean on Iran or Venezuela. Let's produce our own energy right here in our homeland.
Is that the answer to getting Europe weaned off of Russian gas? What are the plans, in your view, to get Europe less reliant on Russian gas and oil?
Yes, and this is where we need to step up as well and work with other partner nations throughout Europe in providing those resources. We have partners in the Middle East that are happy to engage in that area as well. But bottom line, we need to find real solutions, not what the administration is proposing. I don't see, Europe going automatically to EVs, electric vehicles, like this administration would want to see them do. But we do have partners. We do have solutions. We just just have to have an administration that is willing to foster those types of relationships so that we can wean not only ourselves but other countries off of Russian oil.
Senator, it's good to see you. We'll be watching the developments. Thanks so much. Senator Joni Ernst joining us this morning.